right. Call the meeting to order. I want to welcome everybody here. I'd like to call on Councillor Penner to bring the opening.
Thank you. A recent article from the Institute of Corporate Directors magazine proved a very interesting read. In it, Richard Blackwell states the following assertion. For decades, Canada's recreational marijuana trade has been controlled by criminals. Now, he says, as dozens of private and public companies move into the soon-be legitimatized sector, a new kind of oversight is required. Oversight indeed. It has been a long while since a business such as this has emerged so quickly. The legalization of cannabis has seized the imagination of the public, entrepreneurs, investors, and of course, governments. Medical cannabis is already legal. Online sales are available in any geographic location in Canada, and recreational pot is likely to follow this year. This multi-billion dollar business will result in a dizzying pace of changes, and those who will bear the consequences of legalization will need to be vigilant to avoid attendant conflicts of interest, scandals, fraud, and legal battles. This is where we as a city council come in. Municipal governments now find themselves in uncharted territory, with unknown boundaries of jurisdiction, costs, revenue, and of course, policing. Social and community costs are not yet factored in, and the consequences of legalization are enveloped in the murky waters of hearsay, unqualified opinion, and unverified statistics. So what do we know, in fact? We know that whether we like it or not, marijuana is here to stay. It has been here for many years and has remained in the background of our community longer than we would like to admit. It will be legal to consume cannabis in restricted areas. It will not be legal to grow household cannabis, at least not in Manitoba. We can choose to hold a plebiscite on this issue, and we can also choose to create restrictive zoning bylaws to address where retail sales can occur in our city. We also know it can easily be obtained by online sales, even if we do not allow sales in Steinbach. Representatives of our own RCMP have voiced their own concerns in policing those driving under the influence, in addition to understanding that they will need to deal with any unintended consequences of this new legislation, and rightly so. As we also know, there are no scientifically proven roadside test devices for those suspected of being impaired by cannabis. As we debate our response to the new cannabis legislation, we must consider not only what we do not know, but what we do know in order to make some good decisions. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Penner, and obviously this is something that we are going to grapple with as a municipality, as many municipalities will be grappling with it across this province. Thank you. We have the agenda in front of us. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda? Councillor Penner, second by Councillor Swagstra. Any questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. We have the minutes in front of us from April 3rd. Can I have a motion to approve, please? Councillor Funk, second by Councillor Fair. Any discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Business arising from the minutes. Just wondering, previous council, we didn't excuse Councillor Cari Penner. I'm wondering if council would like to excuse her. Councillor Funk, second by Councillor Fair. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. We will move to reports and recommendations from the city manager. Mr. Workentine, anything at this time? I know you did attend the Highway Traffic Board hearing on our behalf today. I don't know if you have any information in regards to that, but...
I could perhaps provide information. The board did not render a decision today. However, I do have information on the recommendation from Manitoba Traffic Services if council is interested.
Okay. Thank you. And that's for Industrial Road, Industrial and 52 West.
That would be the speed zone request on,
That's right.
On 52, correct.
Right. Thank you. Council, do you wish to hear?
Yes.
Thank you. Councillor, or Mr. Workentine.
This hearing was held, as you mentioned, this morning. And generally, as with any other speed zone request, the City of Steinbach does request the province of Manitoba through Traffic Services to review the street in question. This one was no different. Generally, and I'll paraphrase, that the findings did observe that there was a significant departure from existing speed zone compliance. In other words, areas posted at 50K did experience some evidence of traffic traveling faster than that rate. And based on the overall review of the intersection, or sorry, of the stretch of road, these were the following recommendations. That 50 km/h zone beginning at PTH 12 and continuing westerly to a point 100 meters east of Lund Road. A 70 km/h zone from a point 100 meters east of Lund Road and continuing westerly to a point 200 meters west of Industrial Road. An 80 km/h zone from that point on to a point 100 meters west of Keating Road, and 100 kilometers per hour thereafter to the west. The sketch that is up on the screen gives a visual. It is rather small, but hopefully council is able to see. And this does not constitute the Highway Traffic Board's decision, only the recommendations as provided by the province.
Okay, thank you. That's good information. Appreciate that, Mr. Workentine. Is there any questions to the administration?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, to administration. So just to clarify, in regards to the province's recommendation, how does that compare with our specific request? Like, obviously, we are requesting a reduction. Is that close? How close is that to our request in terms of the in terms of the length?
Generally, the request of City Council is represented by the double yellow lines that you see kind of in the middle of the stretch of 52 West. Council's resolution was to request a 50 km/h zone in that area generally. However, in light of the province's decision to proceed with the installation of traffic signals at the intersection of Industrial Road and PTH 52 West, and the observed traffic speeds within that zone, the recommendation from the province is to lower that speed zone from a current 80 km/h to 70 km/h.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? Obviously, we'll wait to hear what the decision is of the Highway Traffic Board, but appreciate that administration took the effort to push this forward, and I know behind the scenes other work has been going on, so it's great. So do we expect that to be rendered within 30 days?
I'm not certain. The board did not advise, but generally I believe their decisions are provided within approximately 30 days of the hearing.
All right, very good. Thank you. Council, just for your own understanding and just to be clear, obviously the Highway Traffic Board is going to be dissolved with the new bills that are in front of the legislature, but in the meantime we still have to deal with the Highway Traffic Board, and so it's appropriate for our staff to make sure that took place. So. All right, then we'll move to the accounts payable in the back of the book. You've all had a chance to review these. Can I have a motion to approve, please? Councillor Penner, second by Councillor Siemens. Any discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. We have bylaw 2093. This is on page 5. Mr. Workentine.
This is a road opening bylaw number 2093, representing a road opening being an extension of Heritage Parkway. This road opening bylaw is a minor departure from what is typical in that there is also a parcel of public reserve land that is included in it based on our advice, legal advice that's been received that the opening of a public reserve in a road opening bylaw is permissible, and as a result, this is being presented with respect to a revised phase of the primary healthcare center development, and the recommendation from administration is that council give first reading to this road opening bylaw.
Thank you. Council, how would you like to proceed? Councillor Fair, move approval of first reading. Thank you. Is there a seconder? Councillor Penner, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I think this is a good thing. It's going to probably direct more of the traffic back to Lone Boulevard automatically, just the way that it's configured. And it's basically for the lots that are already there for the medical center. So I think it'll be a good thing for so we'll see what happens at the hearing.
Thank you. Anything further?
Just to add to Councillor Fair's comments, we know that there is intended further development in this area in the future, and this will aid in that development.
Thank you. Anything further from council? Anything in closing? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. All right, then we'll move to 9C, bylaw 2095, in regards to realty and education tax levy. This is on page 11. Mr. Workentine, anything to add?
Just that this realty tax levy bylaw is an annual bylaw that is presented to council for its consideration. This does authorize the tax levy as indicated in the city's 2018 financial plan, and would provide the city with legal authority to levy the property taxes as indicated. This tax levy bylaw would authorize a municipal mill rate of 14.09 mils, and also indicates the provincial education mill rate of 9.77 mils and a Hanover School Division mill rate of 15.143 mils for 2018. Recommendation is for council to give this first and second reading.
All right, thank you. Council, we've all had a fairly lengthy discussion on this. How would you like to proceed? Move to approve by Councillor Penner, second by Councillor Fair. Any discussion?
Just that this is something that allows us to authorize the tax levy on the city,
Thank you.
as well as collect the Hanover School Division taxes.
Okay, thank you. Anything further? Anything further from council? Anything in closing?
Nothing in closing.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Carried. Is there a motion for second reading, please? Thank you. Councillor Penner, second by Councillor Fair. Any discussion?
No discussion.
Anything further from council? All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Carried. All right, we'll move now to the bylaw 2096, business tax levy, page 35. Mr. Workentine.
Similarly to the realty and education tax levy bylaw, this bylaw is to authorize the setting of the city's business tax rate and also the authority to collect business taxes. Again, recommendation is for council to give this bylaw first and second reading.
All right, council, how would you like to proceed? Councillor Swagstra?
Move approval.
Approval, seconded by Councillor Penner. Any discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is just authorizing the business tax levy to remain at the same rate, 0.5%, which it has been for a while. This is the money that is given to the chamber, but the amount has remained fixed for quite some time.
Thank you. Further discussion? Anything closing? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Motion for second reading. Councillor Siemens, second by Councillor Funk. Any discussion? Anything further? All those in favor? Thank you. Carried. We now have building permits, 9E. We've all reviewed these. This is page 38. Council, you can see that we have just shy of $1 million for this last month, bringing us to $7.3 million for the year so far. Obviously, this is a good start to the year. Can I have, there is a motion or a resolution on the side of page 38. Can I have someone move that, please? Councillor Penner, second by Councillor Funk. Any discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. We have business licenses on page 39. Can I have a motion to approve, please? Councillor Fair, second by Councillor Penner. Any discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor? Any questions of council? Seeing none, we will move to correspondence. We have 11A, the Seine-Rat River Conservation District minutes. You've all had a chance to review those on page 40. Any questions? Take that as information. We will then move to 11B, the Canadian Heritage, from Canada. It's in regards to our July 1 grant application on page 52. We see that we have received $5,000. Mr. Workentine, just as information, is this the same amount that we have received in other years, or?
It is the same as last year.
Thank you. Very good. Take that as information unless there's any questions. Seeing none, there's no other business. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please? Councillor Fair, second by Councillor Penner. Any discuss? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you.